Hey everyone, we're actually back. And it's been a while since we've done a video.
Yeah. We did my PC. That was a good amount of chunk of time to spend on.
Right, yeah.
Took a while.
Those videos took longer than the 2 videos we would have done otherwise. And then you were gone out of town all last week.
Yep.
And then I was working on preparing for an event we had on Saturday, which is what we're going to talk about in this video. It was a music festival in American Fork, Utah, called Fork Fest. They do it every year.
Apparently it's a big festival that I've never heard of.
Yeah, me either.
That's down the street from me. But it was actually a really big event.
That's literally just a couple miles from where you live, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, yeah, but a lot of local bands, some of them really good. And the guy who runs it reached out to DJP like a month ago. Said, hey, just give me a quote on what you would charge. And I didn't think he was serious. So I didn't call him back for a while.
Whatever.
Seriously, yeah. I mean, it was probably 2 weeks before I finally called him back.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we
That's
talked.
cool.
We talked about what they wanted. It's kind of a big production. 3 stages, shooting 2 at a time.
Right. 2 at a time. 2 live streams going simultaneously.
Right. For 10 plus hours, 10 and a half hours.
Yeah, it was constant.
Yeah.
There was no break for us. We all had to interchange with one another in order to take a break.
Right.
So that was...
It ended up being a crew of 11 people.
It's a long day.
So it was definitely a long day because we not only had to shoot, we also had to set up everything. So in order to keep the labor budget down, I elected to set up on the day of the event instead of doing it the day before. So anyway, so yeah.
Should we show some of it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It's so let's see. Hit the play button here. So this is actually the 3rd stage, what they called the forest stage, and this is where you spent all your time.
Yeah, this is where I was stationed. I chose it strategically because it was the weird stage, and there was shade.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And I
It
didn't
wasn't
have
in the
a
direct
hat
sun.
or anything.
Right.
So that was my reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
But this is actually one that I TD'd.
Yep.
So I TD'd, I think 3 bands.
Sounds right.
About 3 bands. It was kind of just sprung on me.
Yeah, it wasn't the
I wasn't
plan.
prepared to TD.
Yeah. I mean, she was hired to just run camera on this one, and so did Joe ask you? Is that what happened, or you just telling you wanted to? I don't know.
Joe asked me, he's like, hey, do you want a TD? And I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was really nice of him. It was fun.
Yeah, and you got to get it out of the sun and in the
I got to
air
go sit
conditioned
in
trailer.
there and like talk some of the camera ops and pick shots and learn the music's really fun because you get into like a groove with the song and you kind of just, as long as you have really good camera operators, it makes it really easy, and they were all really good. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first time directing cameras. It's a little different than actors, but it was fun. It's nice too because I was on the stage camera operating. So I already kind of know what to look for, and I was familiar with the stage and how the cameras were working, the zoom and all that. So it made it easier for me to figure out what they were capable of.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'll tell you what, though, I was actually pretty impressed with how you did.
Thank you.
So yeah, and especially considering you hadn't done it a whole lot yet.
Yeah, no, not
you're
yet.
Still kind of new at it. So
yeah.
And I talked to the camera operators that you were directing too, and they all seemed pretty impressed with you as well.
Sweet.
So and so
fake it till you make it.
That's right. Yeah, TDing is harder than you think it's gonna be.
It's because you have to watch 3 cameras simultaneously.
Right.
You have to watch what's going on stage, what kind of song they're playing. It's a lot of multitasking.
Right.
Which I sort of know how to do, but then it's also live. So it makes it a lot more intense because you make a mistake, everyone's going to see it.
I screwed up, everybody rewind. Yeah.
I think I made a couple mistakes, but nothing too big.
Yeah. What was your philosophy for what you did here? Because this is one of the videos you TD'd.
Yeah, this is one I did. I don't know. You just sort of go with the beat of the song and the singer and whoever's playing. You kind of try and focus on that. The camera operators give you suggestions too throughout the whole thing. So someone will start zooming in and I'll see that, like, okay, I'm going to take your shot. Go ahead now. and then you just kind of like, everyone kind of understands what type of shots you want after a minute, and so you kind of have to tell them, but not really after a while. Everyone just kind of gets in a groove.
Yep.
And having 3 camera angles makes it a lot easier to go between shots. I'm glad it was only 3 for my first time.
Yeah, for your first time for sure. But at the same time, it would have been nice to have 4. So that way you could have like one camera that's always on the singer.
Just always on the singer, or
something
always
like that.
a wide.
Or always wide or something
the entire
like that,
time. Because sometimes, you know, they'll take a shot and something will happen on stage where it doesn't look good, or like they'll stop singing, or like, oh, I missed the opportunity. So you have to quickly change to a different camera angle. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. So you have to kind of think on your feet.
The one that always gets me is when the singer starts singing again after a break, but your cameras are all on other things.
Yeah.
Because you've been on a break.
Right.
Like, oh crap, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody get the singer real quick, you know.
go.
So it helps if you know the song, that's for sure. But
yeah,
so.
A rehearsal definitely would have been nice. But I mean, for the most part, they're kind of, once you get a feel of what the band. Oh, this is when I was on camera. This next.
Okay, yeah, this is your
concert.
camera too, right?
I was actually on the right. Because I was covering for Walt.
Oh, right. Yeah, so this would have been your camera.
So this would have been my camera angle
I was
right
gonna say
there.
that last one wasn't as smooth as I normally see out of you.
That wasn't me.
So we had some pretty crappy tripods on this stage. I had to rent 3 cameras and tripods because I don't have 6 Z150s. So we used someone else's on the Forest stage, and
my biggest complaint was the zoom controllers.
Right, they were awful.
I got used to these ones that I had been doing all week that are really expensive and nice, and then I got those ones and they're so sensitive. It took me a minute to get used to it. And you can't tell either. There's no way of the speed. It's like fast, medium, slow.
Right. Yeah. You don't
really
have near enough control. That's kind of a problem with all the cameras at this price level, unfortunately.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But
once I got used to it, it was fine.
Yeah. So.
There's only so much you can do.
So you were on camera for this one. So this would have been Joe directing on this one.
Joe TD'd on this one. Yep.
Yeah. Joe loved to zoom. Oh, and this is
There's some stuff with the trailer.
Yeah, so this is actually inside the trailer. That's Nate, technical directing there, and then Joe behind him. We actually had, well, we were producing 2 programs simultaneously out of the trailer. So the front desk was the main stage, and then the second desk where we're sitting right now was actually the second program.
Yeah, and the main stage had 2 stages that they'd go back and forth, so it'd make it really quick.
Yeah, and we had 3 cameras there, so we had 2 of the cameras were like dead center, middle of the stage, the 2 stages, and then the third camera would alternate from far left to far right.
Right.
So between every act, they had to pick up the camera and carry it. And
oh, they did?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I never got a chance to go over there, really.
So that was fun. So
sounds fun.
This is a band called Foreign Figures.
Who I know, actually. I've known them since I started school. Like one of my first music videos ever where I barely even knew how to use a camera. So I've known them for a long time.
You said hi, didn't you?
Yeah, I went and said hi to them.
Cool, yeah.
They didn't recognize me at first. I was like, oh, man.
I think this was probably one of the best looking videos that we got all night.
It looks really cool.
Because the lighting, this was right after it got dark and the lighting actually came on. And for some reason, these guys looked better than the bands that followed them, even though they were also, the other bands were lit. So, is that Space Jam?
They just know the lighting
Space
guy.
Jam shirt?
Yeah, I think so. That's funny.
Yeah.
They're really good, though. I've seen them a couple times. I actually came into Redmond, the studios up in Salt Lake, and did a thing there while I was doing BTS.
Nice.
So I got to listen to them for free again.
Yeah. I think they were probably the band with the most mainstream appeal of anybody that played.
Yeah.
So I liked several of the songs that they played. They did some covers. They did Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time.
I heard Britney Spears from the other stage because I think we were taking a break and then someone was laughing like, someone's doing Britney Spears. I was like, oh, that's cool.
They were doing Britney Spears. They also did Africa by Toto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love that song. So that was fun for me. So, but
That's fun.
This was the first event where I actually didn't have a designated job.
Yeah.
So I floated like the whole time.
You were just kind of like in charge of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, just managing people and take care of technical issues. I TD'd for a little while when Nate had something else going on. and I ran camera. I think for about 4 different concerts. I think something like that.
Oh, okay.
And I checking up on audio and just fixing random stuff. And then I shot behind the scenes footage, which we have.
Which I've just started editing.
Yes, we'll have that as a members only video here on the channel.
Yep.
So actually not just members only, it's superstars only. So
Oh.
only the highest tier actually get the BTS.
Okay.
I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll
have to
look
see.
it up. Whatever we promise to
We
people,
don't know.
that's what we'll deliver. So if you want to see the behind the scenes where I actually wandered around with a camera, shooting people doing their jobs, yeah, make sure you sign up as a member.
And you show
on the
like a
channel.
lot of the trailer and what goes on
Yep.
behind the scenes.
So this is probably the most comprehensive behind the scenes we've ever had because it's actually shot
because you actually had time to
during
shoot one.
the event and not just a summary after. So
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but yeah, quite the deal. 6 cameras, 11 people on the crew.
It was a long day too.
It was
we
a
were there
very
from
long day.
7:45 a.m. to midnight.
About midnight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I didn't even get home till 2.
you didn't.
No.
I had already worked 50 hours that week, and
Okay.
so that almost got me up to 70 hours of work that week. It's
Can't
pretty
complain
dead.
too
I was
much,
pretty
though.
dead on Sunday.
I can imagine.
No, I'm not going to
I was
complain
pretty
ever.
dead too, but I spent most of the week last week prepping for this.
Yeah.
Because Tuesday, so 4 days
Yeah,
before
you
the
didn't have that much
event.
time.
Well, we got hired for the event a week before it actually happened, so I had to find a
Yeah,
crew.
Oh yeah.
And then Tuesday morning, the guy who runs the thing says, "Oh, by the way, we're not going to have internet at the venue." So I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what am I going to do?" So I'm like trying to figure out how to get cellular. So I went out,
geez.
and I bought, I think 8 different SIM cards, so I could put them in all my different cellular devices. So just in case, I'd be able to do something to get internet.
Yeah.
And I told the guy, like, yeah, I went to the park. Well, that's the other thing. I went to the park that day and tested the cellular to see if it was going to work, and it wasn't going to work. It was like way too slow, way too slow. And so I emailed the guy and told him, I was like, you know what, I've got the hardware here, but the cellular connectivity in the park is just terrible. So we're gonna have to figure out something else. So he found a wireless internet provider to actually bring in
that's
antennas. So
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
yeah, 2 streams in 1080p, and you want to have some redundancy in case there's a connection goes bad because there's a bunch of people watching, you know. So there was a live audience though too. I mean, it wasn't just.
There was actually a lot of people
Yeah,
there.
there's quite a few people, more than
So
I thought
a
would.
big event.
Yeah.
And I got you someone the day before.
Yes.
Like we were still
She's a
scrambling.
trooper.
He's like, I need the camera up. I was like, oh no.
And she kept trying until she found somebody. And
Yeah.
the guy you found was amazing.
I
He was
know.
awesome.
Jeff, you're awesome. If you ever see this, you probably won't. But yeah, Jeff's awesome. I went to school with him, and I forgot he's been doing mostly broadcasting stuff, so it was like
So,
the
yeah.
perfect scenario.
Yeah, he understands it
He's
all.
probably the
So,
perfect person for me to find.
Yeah. It was just so cool how it all worked out because I didn't have to worry about troubleshooting any of the fiber connections or any of that kind of stuff. I mean,
Right.
I just sent the crew out and said, go set this stuff up, and they took care of it. I was able to focus on making sure that the equipment in the trailer was actually working properly.
Yep.
And then once the event started, I just kind of floated and made sure people had food and water. And so it's kind of funny. Like the
Yeah.
guy who knows all the equipment the best was not actually working any of it. But
Well, you're there to troubleshoot.
yeah, so.
That's good.
But it was kind of fun running camera again. It's been a long time since I've run camera for an event. A long time. Because I'm always in the TD desk.
Yeah.
So, but
I love concerts, so this was really fun
yeah,
to do.
it's kind of fun that DJP has somehow gotten shoehorned into doing a lot of music stuff. So,
I know.
so I'm
Let's
happy
do
about
more.
that.
It's my
So
favorite.
hopefully we'll
Live.
get this one in the future. I mean, we heard back from the client that they were really impressed with the work that we did, especially
Yeah.
on the horribly low budget we we
It was
had on this
very
one.
low budget.
Yes, it was. For 11 people, astonishingly low.
Yeah.
But, anyway, so yeah.
But this is top quality, so anyone wants to give us a real budget,
That's
look at
right.
how much
We can
more
do
you'll
do
get.
better. Yes.
Yeah, 10 times better, and it already looks
More
really good,
cameras.
so.
Yeah. So
a couple more cameras would have made a
one more camera
Bigger
in each
difference.
stage could have made a big
Yeah.
difference. Yep. Yeah. Like would been great to have one camera that's just focusing on the lead singer, or a wide shot.
right.
That'd be awesome. That would have
Yeah.
been awesome. So, especially on these bigger main stages. The forest stage where you were.
That one was,
And
it wasn't as much to cover, so
Right.
it was okay.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So.
always nice to have at least one more shot,
Yep.
even if it's just stagnant
Right.
or just a wide or something.
Yeah. Yeah, we were going to set up a wireless camera, but we didn't have enough people to really run one. So someone could actually wander around and get
Yeah.
random shots.
But
So.
we pulled it off.
We did.
Yay. Looks
And
good.
It came out awesome. Whit was a superstar. She did amazing running camera and directing and just helping with setup. So, yeah.
Yeah. Everyone works really well
Yeah. Great team.
together.
Great team. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked out. Sometimes you don't know.
Well, yeah,
till,
especially
you
'cause
work with them.
I think half the crew are people I hadn't worked with.
I didn't
least
know,
not
I
much.
didn't know most of the people.
So I
there.
never worked with either of the Andrews. We had 2 guys named Andrew on the crew. I never worked with either one of those. I had never worked with Jeff. Had worked with Walt, and of course you and Dave on many events.
Brian.
Brian we'd worked with on one
Yeah,
prior.
one
Yeah.
thing.
And then Sid was new. So
Yeah.
yeah, a bunch of people.
Everyone like had a pretty big job too.
Mm-hmm.
Like no job was too small for us to handle. Like everyone had to step up.
Right.
Like you had to be on all day.
Yep. Yeah.
No breaks.
Yeah. I mean,
We had some breaks to eat.
she says she's the only one that didn't get a break.
Well, I didn't really get much of a break. No.
Everybody else.
TVing was my break.
Yeah, exactly. So,
That's
but everybody
kinda my
else
job.
had at least one set that they were able to get. And that's where my job came in. I'd go relieve people.
Yeah.
Then we had Sid and Andrew do that as well. So, yeah. So everybody but Whit got a break for one set. So, but anyway.
Yeah, these guys were really fun to watch.
Yeah, they're good entertainers and great musicians.
Oh, that's
So,
a cool shot.
Yeah.
I like that.
After we did that, they told us we couldn't show the audience. So
Really?
Yeah. So we didn't do
for,
it anymore
like,
after that.
Copyright type stuff.
I think it's more for COVID reasons. They didn't want people to
yeah.
see that there were people close together that
I
didn't
think
have
I
masks
heard an
on.
announcement about that.
Yeah, they kept having to say it over and over and over again. It's like, put your mask on, back up. And they kept doing it, but people pushed their way back to the front again.
Yeah, my stage was a lot more chill.
For sure.
I didn't have to deal with that at all.
Yeah, with
actually.
the crowd that was there, that's kind of their MO, you know. So,
Chill.
yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just more easygoing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you guys want to see the behind the scenes in detail, did we figure out what it is?
Well,
You have to have membership.
yeah, you have to be a member.
So, It's 3 tiers. I think it's the top
Yeah,
tier.
I'm pretty sure it is too. Yeah, so basic stars, and all stars, and I think it's the all stars level that gets the BTS. Oh, I usually talk about things that went wrong. We didn't really have much that went wrong on this one, did we?
No.
Aside from our monitor getting smashed, but
At the beginning we couldn't get comms to work on
Right.
stage 3, so I was trying
Or
to get
one.
that to work. Oh, or one.
yeah, none of it was
Okay.
working.
Comms weren't working. How did we fix that?
I had one thing wired wrong and something else, a piece of equipment set wrong. So once I knew what to look at, I
It was
was
just
able to
something
resolve
really
it.
small.
Yeah. In fact, for the main stage, the reason it wasn't working is because I hadn't turned on the audio output to the main stage. It's like I had 4 buttons that I had to turn on. I always forget for some reason. Yeah, stupid.
I was like,
stupid,
I didn't
stupid.
know.
But fortunately, I got it working like 5 minutes before the event
Yeah,
actually
that
started.
stressed
so-
me out a little because
Yeah.
I was just sitting there trying to get people on comms.
Yeah, and then we had one instance, you probably didn't even know about this, where the network switch that was carrying audio from the main stage to the trailer, somebody
Oh, I could hear Joe or someone talking about it.
somebody
on comms.
somebody disconnected it, and it takes 5 minutes to boot, so we didn't have audio from the main stage for 5 minutes. So
I think, yeah, I remember hearing that.
so yeah, we just so we had something, we just turned on the camera audio for that one, but it is what it
Okay.
is. So anyway,
Well,
but for the most part, it went pretty well.
Yeah.
And I think because we had enough people to pay attention to what was going on.
yeah,
So,
enough people that knew what they were doing and could get that
Yep.
going. So,
Yep. Yeah. So anyway,
well,
so there it is.
Good
So,
job, us.
Yeah. So we shot Fork Fest 2020 Outdoor Music Festival. 3 stages, 2 crews,
6 cameras.
6 cameras. Yeah, 2 people technical directing.
2 streams.
2 streams simultaneously. Yeah, kind of a big deal. And we didn't get the event until a week before it actually happened, and
Yeah,
somehow pulled it off.
That's a big deal.
So anyway, so if you guys have questions about this, then leave them in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer. Although it's getting to the point now where I don't have time to answer questions.
Yeah, sorry guys. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We'll try.
So,
Maybe next Q&A we'll try and
yeah.
answer some.
Yeah, so if you ask it in the comments and I don't reply, save it for a next Q&A. So anyway. All right, I think that's it. So thanks, Whit, for all your help on that. And that was it turned out awesome. You did amazing.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yep. So anyway, thanks guys for watching, and have a fantastic day.